I am very aware of the old adage about not judging a book by its cover. However, although this doesn't quite class as an exception to the rule, the beautiful atmospheric cover of The House in the Hollow is what led us to our meeting this evening with West Cumbrian-based writer Ali Cresswell. The House in the Hollow is her latest novel. It is hot off the press, and Ali is with us tonight. Good evening.
Hello, Helen, and thanks for inviting me on the programme.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Hello, Ali. We had better, I suppose, not keep people in suspense. And I'll maybe let you actually fill in a few gaps about the artwork, the wonderful illustration on the cover of your new novel by the fabulous Penrith-based Sarah Reid, who was on the show just 2 or 3 weeks ago, and thereby hangs a tale.
Well, it certainly does. Sarah and I connected actually through our husbands. Sarah's husband runs the Allenby website, and my husband contacted him on there over something or other, which I don't even know what that was now. And then they came to use our cottage in Allenby, and I didn't even know that Sarah was an artist until she posted a picture of herself on Allenby Beach painting. And then I thought to myself, that's interesting, because Sarah's work is all about landscape and light and colour and mood, which is so much part of my writing, that she was the perfect person to turn to for the cover of my novel Tall Chimneys, which is actually the next book on in this series, because The House in the Hollow is a prequel to Tall Chimneys. My stories take place on a wide canvas of place and weather and atmosphere, so I knew that if anybody could render that for the cover, Sarah could, and I was not disappointed.
Oh my goodness, hasn't she done you proud? It is absolutely, it's got everything. It's so atmospheric, but it's utterly beautiful. I mean, the colours, those lovely deep purples, but there's everything in it. There's drama, there's mystery, there's wildness. And just in an illustration before you even open the book.
It's just what I wanted. I think it sort of portrays that idea of the house peeping shyly out of the landscape, which is in my mind's eye exactly what it does. I think the colours of that sort of twilight moment, just so atmospheric, gothic, just wonderful.
Absolutely. And I mean, it does matter, doesn't it? I mean, a cover is important. I mean, it's not as important really is what's inside, but it does play a role.
Well, I don't know. It is really important, because they say that the cover has about 4 seconds to attract somebody's attention before they move on to something else. So it really has to catch the imagination of the people who are scrolling by or looking along the bookshelves. And so it is really important. They'll never open the book if the cover doesn't appeal.
Well, I don't think you'll have any problems. Definitely not with this cover. It's absolutely, it's beautiful.
What I liked about what Sarah did with this one is that it's recognisably the same house as the house on the front of Tall Chimneys, but totally different. 2 totally different feels and different atmospheres, but the same house, and that was the continuity that I was looking for too.
I think as well, it's the fact that it's not, it's not too detailed. It suggests rather than dictates to you, if you like. So therefore, it appeals to your imagination straight away.
Very evocative.
Absolutely. Well, House in the Hollow, Ali, set at a rather turbulent time in history, sort of the run up to and the outbreak of the Napoleonic Wars, and also written at rather a turbulent time in history as well. Strangely enough,
and those 2 things are not unconnected, I don't think.
Well, we better explain, hadn't we? Because this book is kind of your lockdown baby, I suppose.
Yes, it is my lockdown novel. I started it. We were due to move house on the 19th of March, so we had everything packed up in boxes. I had no intention of starting anything new. And then lockdown happened on the 16th of March. The move was off, and what else was there to do? I went up to my study, I opened my laptop, and I started to write. And I wrote for all those weeks, virtually 7 days a week. I've never worked like that before, and it was incredibly productive time. but now I can see that it's a lockdown novel in two ways, really. One, I wrote most of it during lockdown, but also Jocelyn is in a kind of a lockdown too. She's the protagonist in The House in the Hollow. She's confined to the house and its immediate grounds. She's stuck with the people she lives with. She's separated from family and friends. She's thrown upon her own resources, as we all were. I haven't intended that connection, but I think it's definitely there.
Oh, absolutely. Whether it was subliminal or, because that is such... Obviously, I didn't know until I found out when you'd written it, but there are so many parallels, really, which you wouldn't know. They're not overt. You wouldn't pick up the book and think, oh, she must have written this during lockdown. It's not like that at all. No, nothing like that. But it's much more subtle than that, and it's something that actually afterwards it gives you an extra dimension, I suppose.